Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Ekanita. In this video, I will review the story of Robert Davila. Okay, the inspiration story of Robert Davila is about Norman Ali Khan. 3 months ago, he gave khutbah in Fort Worth. He hasn't been to that masjid. It's for of 5 years, and they invited him for same reason, and he went. And he gave khutbah 3. His khutbah was about dua. In the Egyptian of Allah comes up to him. A young man come up to Newman after he got Allah fulfilled his dua today. And Norman said, "What's your dua?" He said, "My dua was that Norman L. Khan sold me Robert Davila." That young man wasn't Robert Davila. Robert Davila is his friend. Robert Davila is a young man who lives in a town 40 minutes passion for work. He was a former young guy, and he was hit with some of genetic disorder that kitchen in later on in his life and become placed from the next down. And he actually lives in nursing home. Most people in that nursing home are 90 years and 100 years. They are really old people, and he has been in that nursing home for the last 10 years. His family got a computer for him that's voice activities, so he can get voice command. Put a handphone on and Google stuff and search stuff all so he can search the web and find information. In his room, by the way, a strange Christian family, the minister comes and play for him every week, and things like that. And his best friend was in the bed next to him. He became best friend because he met him at the nursing home. This person was also a paralytic, and he needed a new liver, a liver transplant. He was waiting for a liver transplant, and they used to talk about good and things like that all the time. They were good friends. Finally, his best friend got a call. The third donor available for the liver, so he was too excited. He goes, "Robert, I'm gonna miss you, but I'm going. If gotta be a big donor." So they take his friend and they go into the operation, and this friend did at the operating table. He's a friend, and they go into the operation, and his friend did at the operation table. His friend was also a Christian. The disguised friends. His sister took one of the amulet of his friend, a crucifix, and she gave it a gift to Robert. So he hung it on the side of his hospital bed. And one day he got to sleep and sees a man in his dream, and the man says him name is Muhammad. And he said, pointing at the crucifix, "God did not send messengers, so they would worship the messenger. A good sent messenger, so you could worship good." And Jesus was just a man. He walked in the market, and he ate a food, and the ground stopped it. He only knows that Jesus was just a man. He he knows that trees man named Muhammad that said that to him. He said that messengers came so people for good worship good, and not the messenger he is all the news. So he started going Muhammad. He finds Islam. He takes Shahada. When he takes Shahada, he wants to learn about the Quran. So he goes one day chat sessions. And when somebody needs to teach him Quran, he finds a brother in Egypt that he gets together with on Skype to try and learn Arabic on the Arabic alphabet. He learned how to read the Quran. Uh, he he memorized the surahs for his hospital bed. Then he says, "I'm beginning to memorize the Quran, and I beginning to learn about this prohibit, but I need to understand the Quran." So he started googling how to understand the Quran, and for some reason, they end up on human videos. uh, and he started watching Norman stuff, and we and the watches almost everything. In the nursing home, there was an Egyptian fellow that used to do some repair work. The Egyptian follow his own West Home story. The girl and basically lost fashion. He wasn't religious. The nurse's message to him was mm, 50 miles away, so he didn't really go to Jama much anymore. But he felt a spiritual void. So he started going to the cross to just to feel close to Allah. Raised Muslim, he goes to the cross just to feel closer to Allah. He is passing by rabbit room. One day hears Al Ashar, so he walks into the room and guys and says, Rabbit, what are you listening to? Rabbit says, nothing, that with me, and the guy goes, you're Muslim? And he goes, yeah, I become Muslim, and this friend is in shock. And Norman finally met Robert in his nursing home. When somebody turns to Allah, don't worry about the man's. Guidance will come, balance will come. Robert has a special wheelchair that holds a pretty much every part of his body. He can't just sit in the wheelchair. It holds his neck and it holds every other part of his body in place because he has no control over his limbs. And he has to have a special fan where the wheelchair is locked in so that if God struck a bomb or something, special fan where is the wheelchair soul is in, so that if God struck a bomb or something, he doesn't receive the shock. So he made a request. He wanted to go the freely prayer, but they didn't have the special phone, so they put him in a regular phone. So he went in the regular, and a few bumps, and his spine got even more hurt. We went to Jama'ah. He came back in excruciating pain, and because of that, Robert was not able to sit on this uh, wheelchair, and he had to stay in bed for the next 6 months at least. Someone who has nothing to control over his mind and his age, and he has only one page in the masjid. He said, sometimes I wonder why Allah put me in this position, and then I say to myself, what am I kidding? Allah has given me so much. I am so grateful for what He gave me, and if this way He was gonna bring me to Islam, it's all worth it. Okay, guys. Maybe that's all I discussed this time, and I'll see you in the next video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.